Some Charlotte homes sit for 90 days while others go under contract within a week. And these homes can be in the same neighborhood, same price range with completely different outcomes. I've been in this market for over 11 years, and today I'm showing you 5 things that make homes sit and the 5 things that make other homes sell fast. Let's dive in. The right price fixes everything. If the price is off, nothing else matters. I see this every day. Homes that are priced above comps on the same street, same pocket, same condition, they sit. A lot of sellers are still using early 2023 expectations, but the market has shifted and inventory has changed. Now, Charlotte's median price is sitting in the low $400,000 price points as we head to 2026. But let me be clear, that number doesn't sell your house. Your street does. Your condition does. Update your competition right now. That's what buyers are paying attention to. Let me tell you what happens when a home is overpriced. You lose that first 10 days, and those days are everything. That's when serious buyers are watching. They don't rush anymore. They've got options. Inventory jumped 36% from June of 2024 to June of 2025. Translation, buyers don't have to chase overpriced homes like they did 2 years ago. Keep this number in mind because I'll come back to it later when we talk about hot homes. I'll show you exactly how correct pricing is still creating multiple offers. So stick around. Now, longer days on market leads to price cuts. That's just how this works. Across North Carolina, about 39.9% of homes had price reductions in 2025. That's above normal. But here's what most people miss. Once a home sits and starts showing price cuts, buyer confidence drops. They start asking what's wrong with it, even when nothing is. Right now, homes in Charlotte are sitting about 71 days on market, on average up from 59 from the last year. Your first impression window is tighter, and if pricing misses early, you're playing catch up the rest of the listing. Pricing isn't about what you want or what your neighbor got, it's about what buyers are willing to pay today. And that brings us to the next thing that's killing listings before they're ever gaining momentum. Quick note before we keep going, if you're selling in Charlotte and you're not sure where your price is competitive or just hopeful, I do this every single day. My contact information is linked down below. Shoot me an email and let's talk. All right, back to it. So you're thinking the price is right, but the home isn't moving. Let's talk about conditions. When buyers walk through a home with a 20-year-old HVAC system, they're already doing the math before they've ever seen the primary bedroom. Here's what happens. Homes with older HVAC systems, roof near the end of their life, or visible wear tend to stall. Not because buyers hate the house, but because they hate uncertainty. And in this market where mortgage rates are sitting about 6.5%, buyers are very payment conscious. Unknown repair costs slow things down fast. Here's what I see constantly. Crawl space moisture issues, original flooring, kitchens straight out of the 90s or the 2000s. And buyers don't look at those in a vacuum. They compare them to new construction. Charlotte has seen a big surge in new townhome builds, and builders are getting aggressive. Rate buy downs, closing cost credits, move-in ready finishes. That's direct competition for resale homes that need work. And speaking of perception, the marketing mistakes I'm going to cover in a few minutes can make small issues look way worse than they really are. Keep that in mind. Now, buyers walk through and see an aging roof, an outdated HVAC system, and landscaping that's been ignored. They're already thinking what they'll need to spend in the first year. But here's the nuance. A lot of buyers, especially first-time buyers, experience what we call inspection shock. They get a 30-page report listing every tiny item and they panic. Routine maintenance suddenly feels like major problems. Translation, if your home has deferred maintenance, you're competing against new builds and clean, move-in ready resales. Condition sets the baseline. You either address it or price accordingly. And that brings us to the next layer. Most sellers underestimate until it's too late. Now, let's talk about HOA fees and insurance because this is quietly killing a lot of listings right now. Imagine this. You find what feels like the perfect condo. Then you see $700 monthly HOA fee. You run the numbers and suddenly your payment matches a single family home that costs about $85,000 more. And just like that, the condo doesn't feel so perfect anymore. Here's the deal. Higher monthly HOA dues and big amenity package can absolutely reduce buyer interest, especially when nearby options cost less month to month. A $400,000 condo with a $700 HOA can end up with the same payment as a $485,000 single family home with no HOA. And when payments are up, buyers are almost always choosing a single family home. Now keep this number in mind. Nationally, medium HOA fees sit around $200 to $300 per month. But here in markets like Charlotte, it's common to see $600 to $900 per month. Let me tell you what that means for sellers. Condo sale volume dropped from last year. Translation, buyers are walking away from condos and townhomes with higher HOAs, even when the purchase price looks lower at first glance. Now, let's layer in insurance because this matters more than most people expect. In North Carolina, average home insurance runs roughly $2,400 to $2,600 per year. Premiums are climbing about 7.5% on average, with the same areas seeing an increase between 20 to 35%. And this gets even more important once you understand the location factors we're getting to later on. So stay with me. Now, insurance companies are also getting stricter. Homes with roofs over 15 years or older or more are seeing coverage dropped or refused altogether. Translation, when your monthly carrying costs are high, you're not competing on price anymore. You're competing on affordability. Buyers are doing the payment math. If HOA fees and insurance push them over budget, they move on to the next listing. And carrying costs are just one part of the location puzzle that decides whether a home moves or sits. Here's the thing, location is the one variable you can't change, but you absolutely need to understand it. Distance from job centers and long commute create more competition every single time. Charlotte is the second largest banking hub in the country, with major employers like Bank of America, Wells Fargo, that all center around uptown Charlotte. Proximity to these corridors matters more than most sellers realize. Now, the average commute here runs about 24 minutes. Peak traffic hits hard from 7:30 in the morning to 9 a.m. and between 4 and 6 in the afternoon. Interstate 77 is the biggest pressure point. Add about 10 to 15 minutes on the drive and buyers resist showing up. So let's talk about infrastructure. Areas that are still waiting on the future retail or transit tend to move slower. Take the Lenox Silver Line. It's a planned 25-mile east-west rail line running through uptown towards Matthews and beyond. Buyers today care about what exists now, not what might arrive in 5 years. Traffic patterns matter. Homes near Interstate 45 usually have better regional access, but the express lane construction on the south and east sides, some areas are dealing with temporary congestion, and buyers notice that. Here's the thing, every home has something working in its favor. And when we get to hot homes, I'll show you how experienced agents flip location challenges into lifestyle advantages. It's a competitive mindset shift. Stay with me. Now, maybe the home is close to the U.S. National Whitewater Center with over 1,300 acres of trails, rafting, and outdoor space. Maybe it's walkable to Freedom Park or sits along Little Sugar Creek Greenway running through Myers Park, Dilworth, and South End. Translation, location is fixed, but positioning is not. If your home is farther from job centers, you highlight what it offers instead. Bigger lot, quieter streets, easier access to Lake Norman or Lake Wiley. That's where an experienced agent makes a difference. Location sets the stage. How you present the stage decides whether buyers even show up. Today, buyers scroll past a listing with dark, cluttered photos, and unfortunately, the sale is gone in 3 seconds. That's because over 95% of buyers use the internet while looking for new homes. So let's say the price is right, the condition is solid, the location works. Why isn't it selling? If your listing doesn't grab their attention right away, they move on. No hesitation. Underlit photos, cluttered rooms, homes that aren't staged, all of that kills engagement instantaneously. Listings with professional photos sell about 32% faster and get 118% more online views. That's massive. That's the difference between sitting for 30 days and sitting over 60 days. Now let's talk about videos and 3D tours. Listings without them underperform, especially with relocators. Charlotte sees about 157 people moving here a day. Many moving from New York, DC, Los Angeles. They're shopping online long before they ever step into the house. If the listing doesn't have the basic things that buyers are looking for, it is invisible. And once a listing is stale, it's a problem. Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com, all of them reward fresh listings with a home that hits 30, 45, and 60 days. It starts getting buried. Traffic drops, showing slow, and now you need to price cut just to get back in front of buyers. But here's what most sellers don't realize. Stage homes sell for several percent more over list price and spend less time on the market, which means staging works. It helps buyers picture themselves living in their space. Living rooms matter, kitchen matter, primary bedrooms matter. Those spaces sell the home. A weak presentation costs you time and money. Photos, staging, and video create the first impressions, and that first impression decides whether a buyer even books the showing. Now that we know what drives listings cold, the second half is going to reveal why some Charlotte homes are still selling fast. Hot homes, correct pricing strategy. When you price it right, you're not just selling the home, you're creating competition. Homes priced in line with recent comps and current inventory get strong early activity. Sellers who anchor to today's data, not the peak from years ago, are seeing much shorter days on market. Let me show you what that actually looks like. In Myers Park, established homes are landing in the mid 1.5 million and can run well over $2 million. In South End, condos are hovering in the low $700,000 price points. Over in Ballantyne and West, you typically see the upper $300,000 at very different price lanes. Now, competitive pricing still creates multiple offers, even in a balanced market. Right now, homes in Charlotte are averaging about 2 offers. Hot homes are selling close to list price in around 35 days. That's not luck, that's pricing. Translation, price it correctly and you're not just selling, you're selling faster and closer to asking. But here's the nuance. Without the right price, the house won't move. I don't care how beautiful it is. I don't care how updated it is. I don't care how good the location feels. If it's overpriced, buyers will just wait you out. The right price cures all, especially in today's market. Pricing opens the door. The condition decides whether buyers walk through it or keep shopping. Now, let's talk about what buyers actually want right now. Move-in ready. Updated HVAC, fresh paint, and a clean inspection take away the biggest buyer fear before it's even said out loud: uncertainty. Updated systems, fresh paint, modern flooring, clean inspection, all of that lowers hesitation fast. In some cases, homes with low maintenance uncertainty are outperforming brand new builds because buyers know exactly what they're walking into. Here's what I see all the time. Small fixes before you list can bring big returns. A $2,000 paint job can add $10,000 to $15,000 in perceived value. A new HVAC system or new roof removes the bigger objections before it even shows up in negotiations. A well-maintained resale home in Dilworth, Myers Park, or Plaza Midwood with updated systems can absolutely outcompete new construction. You get character, you get mature landscaping, you get a better location. Strong conditions create certainty, and buyers pay a premium for knowing what exactly they're getting. But condition alone won't save you if the monthly costs create budget stress. That's where the next piece comes into play. When HOA dues are clear and maintenance costs are low, affordability improves immediately. Homes that show efficient systems and realistic utility costs get more showings because buyers can see the full picture. Nothing hidden, nothing scary. Here's the deal. Buyers aren't just looking at the mortgage anymore. They're adding HOA fees, insurance estimates, and potential repairs to figure out if they can actually afford to own the home. Now, fewer financial unknowns means more confidence. If a home has a newer roof, new HVAC, updated windows, and low HOA fees, that tells a clean story. Buyers can budget with confidence. And when we wrap up in a minute, at the end of the video, I'll show you exactly how to leverage these location advantages through the right marketing strategy. Now, here's where Charlotte still has an edge. The cost of living here runs about 1% to 2% below national average, and property taxes stay relatively low, with a combined city and county rate between 0.075 for $100 assessed value, and that really matters. Compared to places like Boston, New York, DC, Miami, where taxes eat straight into affordability, Charlotte still gives buyers breathing room, and that sets us up for the final piece: the location advantages that separate hot homes from everything else. Homes close to job centers, retail corridors, transits, or walkable areas usually have tighter inventory. The Lennox Blue Line runs about 19.3 miles with 26 stations connecting I-45 to South Boulevard way up to UNC Charlotte. It cuts through South End, Uptown, Noda, and University City. Homes near the Lennox Blue Line aren't just convenient. They're selling faster because transit access removes the commute anxiety that's hurting adding listings that are farther out. Now let's talk about mixed-use areas because this matters. Places that are actively revitalizing create better built-in demand. South End is a perfect example. Converted warehouses, new high-rises, restaurants everywhere, breweries like Triple C, and the rail trail running right along the light rail. Young professionals are paying attention to where they want to live, and they're not hesitating. Proximity to recreation and daily conveniences pushes values even higher. Homes near Freedom Park in Dilworth or along Little Sugar Creek Greenway consistently command higher prices. Same story in Noda. Galleries, live music, local dining, homes in these areas don't sit around. But here's what most people miss. School zones matter. A lot of homes in highly rated school districts often carry a 10 to 20% premium, in some cases even higher. Zones tied to schools in Myers Park High School, Providence High School, South Meck High, because people are paying attention to this access. Translation: a strong location creates demand, but even the best location won't convert without the right presentations. And that's the final piece that turns interest into actual offers. A Thursday launch with professional staging and photos bring weekend showings. A Monday launch with phone pictures brings crickets. I see it all the time. Professional photography and staging drive clicks first, then showings later. A strong digital presentation builds early momentum, and when a home is packaged the right way, it creates urgency. That urgency is what shortens days on markets. Let me tell you how this actually works. When you launch on a Thursday or Friday, buyers have the weekend to book tours. That's prime time. Listing in peak seasons like spring and fall also boost visibility. And yes, timing matters here in Charlotte. July and August slow things down. Heat, humidity, vacation. Buyer activity dips, and that can absolutely affect results. But here's the nuance. A strong launch isn't just about pretty photos, it's about the story. Why should someone buy this home? What makes it stand out? Maybe it's the location near South Park Mall, with over 1.8 million square feet of luxury brands like Louis Vuitton, Tiffany & Co., and Nordstrom's. Maybe it's being close to Bank of America Stadium or the Spectrum Center, or maybe it's the tree-lined streets of Dilworth or the historic charm of Myers Park. High quality marketing turns features into a story buyers connect with, and that emotional connection is the difference between listings that generate offers and listings that generate questions about why they're still available. That's how you create momentum, and momentum sells homes. Charlotte's split market isn't temporary, it's a new reality where preparation beats timing every single time. The sellers and buyers who understand these 5 factors are closing deals while everyone else is still wondering why nothing's working. If you're ready to position your home correctly or find properties that actually match these hot home criteria before they hit the market, shoot me an email at marksellscharlotte@gmail.com today with your timeline and what you're looking for. And I just released a video breaking down why Charlotte prices are rising and why Matthews or Waxhaw. Check out the video I've linked here because understanding the weird split is crucial before you make any moves in the Charlotte region right now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.